Aston Villa, they've been linked to some big names over the last few weeks. Like, once they secured Champions League football, they started moving a little different. Like, the targets that are being reported is big names. Like, they're looking at Jack Grealish. And now reporters saying that they're looking at Ronald Araújo. If they bring this guy in, that would be an excellent signing. I think Ronald Araújo is one of the best center backs in world football. He is a very good player at Barcelona, and he's a important piece to what they have going on. Now, I don't know if Barca want him to leave, right? Because there's been a lot of rumors of him possibly leaving the club. And I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. So there might be some truth to that. I know that he's been heavily linked with the move to Bayern Munich. That's the club that I've seen linked with him the most. And I believe that more than I believe him going to Aston Villa, to be honest. And he's also been linked to Manchester United. But, Villa, they are a big club, right? I know a lot of people aren't going to really know that much about Villa's history. And I had to be taught this myself because I wasn't around when Villa was making noise. But Villa are a very big club. Go look at their history. And they had a very good season, came fourth. Unai Emery has them balling out. They have a very good squad there as well. And now they're going to be playing Champions League football next season. So they're going to want to strengthen their squad. They're going to want to compete on all fronts. And their back line already has Paul Torres, Diego Carlos. I don't know if Tyrone, what's the guy's name? Is it Tyrone Mings? I don't know if he's there still. He might. But you add Ronald Araújo to that, he immediately walks into the starting 11. He makes their back line and their defense so much better. But it's going to be a very hard deal to get done. Because I don't necessarily know if Barcelona want to sell him. There were reports that they rejected like 90 million from Bayern Munich. And I think that's the right move to make, because if you want to buy Arroyo, I think you should be spending at least 100 M's. If I'm Barcelona, that's how much that's how much it costs for us to answer the phone. I'm not saying I take 100 M's, but that's where that has to be the starting point for the negotiations. And I think it would be a mistake for Barca to sell him, because then how do you replace him? I know that you got Paul Kubarsi, but then who do you go sign that would be at the same level of Arroyo? I think it'd be bad business. They just signed Hansi Flick. Xavi's no longer their manager. And I'm pretty sure they would have assured Hansi Flick that none of these big name players are going to be sold unless he wants them to leave. And I just don't think that he would want Ronald Arroyo to go. And I know they're saying that Barca don't have the money like that, right? They're in financial issues. So on one hand, you can say, well, if you are that broke, if you don't have that much money, then how can you say no to 100 million for one of your players, right? It's kind of like if you're a homeless man and you're begging for money and somebody comes by and drops $20 into your cup that you're shaking. That's like a homeless man saying, I don't want $20. Like, what? You're broke. You should be grateful. So that's how I view it with Barcelona. You're either broke or you're not. You can't be crying that you're broke and you need financial help. And then when people are offering you a lot of or giving you good money, you're rejecting it. It doesn't really make that much sense. But again, I think Barcelona are lying. They're not as broke as they're leading on. Yes, I do think that they have some financial issues, but it's not all that bad there. I definitely think they're over-exaggerating to get better deals and to save money, but some way, somehow, they always manage to go out there and still find a way to bring in big-name players. So I think Ronald Araújo would end up staying at Barcelona, right? They're going to want to compete for La Liga, Copa del Rey, Spanish Super Cup, Champions League, all these different trophies. And you're not going to be able to do that if you go and sell one of your best defenders. But, shout out to Aston Villa, man. Look, they've been linked to some big-name players. And I think they will make some noise. They've been doing good business over the last few years. And their owners have a lot of money. Their owners are also very ambitious. Unai Emery is a very underrated manager. And, I don't think they're going to really sell either. I know that a few of their big name players are being linked with moves away, right? Like Ollie Watkins, Douglas Luiz. a few of their guys are being linked with moves to bigger clubs in the Prem. But why would you sell them right now? You've just qualified for the Champions League, and then you're gonna go sell Ali Watkins or Douglas Luiz? Doesn't really make that much sense to me, but you never know. As I said, they have a good squad there. Douglas Luiz, Ali Watkins, Yuri Tillmans, Bubakar Kamara, Diego Carlos, John McGinn. Is Matty Castro there? They also got Musa Diaby, Leon Bailey, Paul Torres. They also got Emi Martinez as well. Won a World Cup Argentina, one of the best goalkeepers in the Prem. Things are looking up for Villa, and maybe they are officially back. I mean, maybe we can replace Villa with Tottenham as a big six club. I don't get how Tottenham are in that conversation. They're shit. They don't win trophies. They don't have any kind of big history. The only thing that's big about Tottenham is that stadium. It's a very nice one. It's probably the best in England and probably one of the best in the world, to be fair to them. But you don't have the history to be a part of these big club conversations. That's all that I'm saying. But Aston Villa are being linked with the move to Ronald Araújo. He would cost, to me, like 110 million. He'd have to be the world's most expensive center back at the time of his transfer. They're saying that his value is 70 million. Yeah, Barcelona are going to want an arm and a leg to let this man go, but he still hasn't signed a new deal yet, unless I'm missing something. I haven't seen him signing a new deal. So if that's the case, I don't know when his current contract expires. I would assume maybe in like a year or two, because I haven't heard anybody talking about it running down next season. So Barca, he does have to make a decision this summer. And if he's playing games, while I think a move to Aston Villa would be insane, I think he's more likely to go to a Bayern Munich or Man United, because I think they're bigger. Well, they are bigger clubs, right? And they would probably offer him more money. And I mean, Bayern Munich, I mean, that's like a layup in my opinion. I think that'd be the obvious choice, because then you're not really downgrading from Barcelona like that, really. But yeah, man, Aston Villa, man, I'm going to be very interested to see what they do this summer and how they prep for the Champions League, because now you go from playing, well, they were in Conference League last season, so they weren't playing just once a week. But yeah, you're not going to be going against, like Antwerp and, some of like these other teams in these far region countries that we've never heard of. No, you're going to be playing against like Real Madrid's. You're going to be going against, like PSG's, Bayern Munich's, like those kind of clubs. So you got to strengthen your squad. And I think that they will do some good business again, because they usually are smart with how they spend their money. So we'll see.